Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Eloise and Joseph Field. Welcome to Love in Real Life, where we talk all things relationships. Now, we don't have any real claim as experts, but combined we have 85 plus years of marital experience, and that has taught us how to lead conversations, such as, do you have agreement before alignment? Did you know that potentials have expiration dates? Our goal is to help prepare you for relationship resets as we all continue the work of becoming the best version of ourselves. So you're in the right place at the right time. Let's get this week's segment of Love in Real Life started. Hello, everybody. How are you doing out there, all our real lovers in Radio Land? We're just so glad to be with you again on this Tuesday afternoon. And we are so honored and privileged to have our special guest, Dr. Nancy Riddick from Langston, Tulsa.
Amen.
Hey.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dr. Nancy, and then we'll kick it to Joe.
Okay, so I've been in Langston, Tulsa, a year and 6 months now. So I've been here a year and a half. And when I first came, I'm like, we'll see how this goes. Well, I'm still here.
Amen.
I'm still
We're
here.
glad of it.
Yes, thank you. So my teaching background is in Texas and in North Carolina. I'm teaching university in Texas and elementary and high school in North Carolina. So I just made a full circle. Might as well go ahead and get university started. And so that's why I'm here.
We're good. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
And today we're going to be talking about Let's Talk About Sex.
So do you want me to kick this football or what?
Kick it out. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. In Genesis 1, 27 and 28, it says, so God created mankind in his own image, and then it reiterates the same thing again. We're echoing. Turn your phone off.
It's on mute, though. Sorry.
That's all right. We'll forgive you. And then he reiterates, male and female, he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground. And then in the next, in verse 31, God said, it is what he has done is very good. Now, there's nothing to do. There's no way to dismiss. There's no way to rationalize out. There's no way to play away. There's no way to allegorize. There's no way to get any. Increase in number means just what it means. And God blessed that. He said it was good. We're not talking about the stork delivering babies here. We're not talking about the little, as Eloise keeps telling the stories of when she asked about sex as a young lady, and they said the little girls go up on top of the hill and the little boys stay down in the valley, you know. And then we wonder why we've got into the mess that we have got into. God blessed the reproduction as a good and purposeful part of creation. He blessed it. He said it was good. And so the thing that I'll probably be emphasizing here that I thought about so strongly for the day is the sexuality that God has given us is a gift to steward rather than a source of shame or a source of license, as he says it's supposed to be executed within the bonds of marriage.
Yeah, and we know sex, so that word S-E-X, is more of a 19th century term. Before that, they had other names that they used for sexual intimacy. But let's just talk about it. What is sex? So sex was created as a good and sacred gift from God and is to be celebrated as a source of joy, satisfaction, and mutual delight within the covenant of marriage between a husband and a wife. Now, I know y'all going to kick back and you're going to say, but I'm telling you from the person who made humans, what his thought was, why he had a purpose for a man and a woman to come together. Now, you can try to change it up all you want to, but I don't know how you go to the person who's all-knowing, almighty, and all-powerful and tell him you didn't know what you was doing. Because in essence, that's what you're saying. And he can read between all the lines. So, but he made sex, and it was a gift to his people that when we enter into the covenant, between a man and a woman, you can call it marriage all you want, I disagree, but between a man and a woman, I'm talking about what y'all say is marriage today. That's what I'm saying. But God made the gift of sex to be enjoyed. It's to grow intimacy. It's for procreation, which is what Joe was talking about, and to foster deep physical, emotional, and spiritual unity. So if you didn't know why you're supposed to be having sex, number one, wait till you get married. And then number two, the purpose is so you can grow intimacy, and we're past the procreation ages. Thank you, Jesus. We got kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. But to foster deep physical, emotional, and spiritual unity, God created so that we can use this act so two people can become one on the deepest level, spiritually, physically, and emotionally.
And so I have something to say here.
Yes, ma'am. Come on.
Okay, so I was doing a little researching, and of course, and now I see what you guys are talking about. I read that 80% of those that are partners, married partners, are the happiest in their sexual life. Okay, those unpartnered, 80% are happy, but the unpartnered ones, not married, don't have that high number. They're like at 25%, I believe. Excuse me, it's a little more than that. It's 50%. Okay. 50% unhappy in their sexual life. So now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know.
Yeah.
So
if you don't know the purpose of a thing, abuse is imminent. That's Dr. Miles Monroe. So when you don't know that the purpose for sex, not just so you can have a good time, but you're supposed to be building life, love, and legacy with your covenant partner.
And God, when He created us and made us those sexual creatures, I won't take time to read it all out, but when we're going through the creation story, it says, and God created light and saw that it was good, and God created the grass and He saw that it was good, and God created the darkness and saw that it was good. And when He created them, Adam and Eve, it said, and God said it was very good.
And so, but the issue what we face today is that people want to have all the benefits of marriage without getting married. And my message to women, being a woman, I'm not going to tell you men, I'm going to let him tell you and him tell you. But my message to women is stop being a wife before you get married.
Amen.
Now, I know it says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. Yeah, he should see your character and your morals and your values about life. How you handle yourself is something he would like to experience as a wife. But if you're giving it up, you're giving all the cookies away. Because, they got this whole stuff out here. You need to try it before you buy it. You need to put the shoe on before you wear it. You need to get the milk before you buy the cow. Honey, I'm not a cow. I'm not a shoe. I'm not a car. I am a full-grown woman.
okay.
And it's no trying and before buying kind of stuff. Joe and I knew we were getting married, and we said from day one, we are not going to cross those lines. We wanted our marriage night to be special, and we waited. Now, did we have some temptation? Yeah, but we're real grown. We're really grown, so we know how to handle temptation. You back up. You don't just keep staying in proximity with one another. And we set up, we had group activities. We have activity. That's my mama, y'all. She's 89 years old, calling in from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, mama. But we set up, we didn't put ourselves in positions where we would fall. A lot of dates happened at my house or his house. Well, we wasn't the only ones there. So we didn't set ourselves up to fail, because it wasn't that we weren't attracted to one another. We didn't desire one another. We just weren't going to be stupid about it. We're 72, so that's too old to be stupid. Anybody out there that's 72 and still stupid? Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Okay, and so when I'm sorry to cut
You're
you
fine.
in,
No,
but
you're fine.
when if there was a time that you were tempted, and there was temptation, there was, you can't put yourself right back into that same spot that you were in, because
No.
you already know
Right. You
where the
done already
temptation
went
lies.
this far.
Exactly.
So now there ain't nothing to do but go further.
Exactly.
So no, you can't.
You can't do that.
There's no wisdom in that. So for young ladies who go, and I went to Joe's house, but his daughter was there, and she's grown too. But and then the grandkids and great grands were there. But you don't put yourself in the same situation. Young girls will go out on a date with a guy that didn't even really know him before he swiped left or right. She swiped left or right, and then you go out on a date and you go home with him the same night.
No.
It's no wisdom in that. You're setting yourself up to fail. And you cannot, like Dr. Riddick was saying, you cannot, once you have already gone so far. I used to tell my sons when they were young, if your goal is to be a virgin and to stay celibate until you get married, then you can't hold that woman's hand too long. You can't hold her too tight. You can't kiss her. You can't be blowing on her neck or in her ear. Because when you do those things to a woman, you're telling her body to prepare for something. And you're not a fireman. So you're going to start the fire. Then you're going to be trying to put it out. And that's really not going to work, because the hotter she gets, the hotter you're going to want to get. And then before you know it,
that
you
fire's
got
blown.
how many alarm is it? Joseph Fireman.
Three
Got a
fire.
3-alarm fire going on, and then we sorry, God. Well, you ain't got to be sorry. Have a plan for your life before.
Exactly.
Have your determination and your boundaries put in place, and be very intentional about completing those goals. I'm not saying that if you ever failed into it and you didn't keep those goals, that no, that's the end of the world. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if your goal is to hold that sanctity for your marriage, then just stay true to you and help your man stay true to himself.
Well, and when God created us with the capacity to enjoy and have a pleasurable experience, we did not come to this point that God gave us the capacity for reproduction, and then we decide. When we decided that we were going to make our body generate nerve endings in our sexual organs so that we could enjoy more pleasurable. We did not do that. God created us that way and intended for it to be a beautiful experience within the bonds of marriage. Eloise, this morning when we were having our prayer time together, because I had quoted Psalms 139, we were fearfully and wonderfully made. You didn't realize why I was giggling when you said that, quoted that in your prayer this morning as we was praying together. God created that. God blessed that, and God said it was good within the bonds of marriage. Even though it doesn't say anything, the word marriage is not in Genesis 1 or 2.
Right.
It is implied in the context, in the immediate literary context, when God says that Adam and Eve were to join together and join with his wife, and become one flesh. You can't talk your way out of that.
No.
Everybody, I don't know how many commentaries I read, we've got such a stark contrast to what the modern culture says, what we see and on the movies and social media, and even now on TV. We fast forwarded through last night. We was watching a program and they start that baloney, and Eloise thankfully just picked up, fast forwarded through it. It's insane about what we've saw in the attitudes of casual sex. Now, however you want to say it, try it before you buy it, and all that stuff. And we look at the lives of celebrities, and I appreciate Bobby's honesty when he talked, because he's seen that life. We haven't, of the freedom about the casual sex things and the dissatisfaction that comes as a result of that. They're not happy. We have celebrities, they've got everything. We've got all these people spending all these money to go to Epstein Island and all this stuff, and what all that's going on with this stuff. Nobody's happy with it because it's outside of God's design and purpose.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't work when we do things outside that's like having a car and you're going to attach a horse to your car.
Don't make sense.
Right? Same kind of situation. We decided this is how it needs to work. But again, the one who's all-knowing, almighty, and all-powerful, this is all his idea. So how do we tell him, oh, you was wrong. You made me to be a woman, but I feel like on the inside I'm a man. So you wrong and I'm right. I just don't understand this mentality. But we know there's an enemy of our souls who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he has wreaked his perversion into, it's all over the place. Like Joe was saying, the scene that I fast forwarded to, it was two women being together. I don't want to see that because I don't believe in it. I don't believe that that is God's plan for us. Now, you can come at me all you want to, baby. I'm standing 10 toes down on this. I've been in this since I was 4 years old. You're not going to change my mind about it because God did not make two women to be together, two men to be together. It's one man and one woman. And I know in Bible days, the guy's going to try to come too. Well, we need to have a harem. No, you don't. That was not the godly people acting like they was godly people. They might have been godly, but they wasn't acting like it. Yeah, they did some stuff to let us know that this stuff happens. So we need a plan to guard ourselves against it. Joe and I have been married 7 months yesterday. He didn't turn blind because we said I do. I didn't turn blind because I said I do. So I can see people, and I know, and he can see people.
Yes, you did.
Your mama said yes, she did.
No, ma'am. I'm not interested in nobody else. I'm not blind. I still appreciate beauty, all the forms and shapes that comes in, be it female, male. I can see a woman and know that she's beautiful. I'm not offended by that. I'm not attracted to that. I find that attractive. I see a handsome man, somebody got on a nice outfit. I'll go up to strangers I don't even know and say, girl, you know that is, you working that right there. Because I feel like that's what we should do. We should say kind things to other people. But you can find somebody attractive without being attracted to them because I have self-discipline, I have morals, I have goals and values.
And you don't have any underlying position or underlying thoughts that I'm going after this person.
Right.
You know,
right.
so that right there and in between, because you know how you stand, you know how firm you are.
Yeah.
You know, on your belief.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So I suggest a new approach to this, a new concept maybe, and that is recognizing that it's a gift of God, that we are stewards of that gift. And so I'm suggesting that we have a sexual stewardship, and what that says in the case of singles is purity in singleness. You cannot have sex outside of marriage. You have that is God's word. And those that are married, you have to have that stewardship that says, I'm going to be faithful in my marriage, period, end of story, not discussing, no options. And thank God, be thankful to him for the gift that he has given to us in sexuality. But the idea of having a stewardship in the sexual aspect is the thing that I wish we could get more of and think more about because of what we see presented in our culture today.
She says the flesh.
I think it's what she said. It's the flesh.
Yeah, it is the flesh. And we have not been taught. We spend a lot of time talking about emotions, like when you're angry or you're feeling hurt or betrayed, not to lash out that way. But we also need to put, and the church seems to be scared to talk about sex. They just, they don't want to talk. Like Joe said, my sexual education by way of the church, I didn't get any at home, and I'm not faulting anybody for that, except my parents. But church was little girls go on the mountaintop. Don't come down to the valley where the little boys were. Well, clear. I got you. I'm going to be up on this mountaintop. But what do I do if a boy comes up here to me? I'm not going to him, but if he comes to me, what am I supposed to do?
No answer.
And they said,
No.
They called me mannish, fast. They told me I wasn't saved. They put me on the altar. I had to get saved all over again and tarry for the Holy Ghost all over again just because I had a question. That was always the thing. They did the best they could. I ain't mad at them, but Lord, I can't tell you how many times I got saved and got the Holy Ghost. Growing up from the age of 9 to 22, I was at that same church.
asking questions.
How am I managed? Because you didn't give me a full plan.
Right.
And I don't know why my brain can think of this stuff and other people don't seem to. It's going all. But, okay, good. I'm going to stay up here. But what do I do if he comes to me? I'm not going to him, but if he comes to me, what do you want me to do? There was no answer. Never
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 an answer.
I had to learn things for myself, but I wasn't very good at it. I didn't know how to. You don't know this, but we've talked about it here on the podcast before. When I was in middle school, I used to see the guys going around feeling on the girls, their body parts. And I would see it, and I thought, oh, well, nobody ever does me. So I felt excluded.
Uh-huh. Oh, gosh.
I didn't know that I didn't know anything really about sex. So I didn't know that's a bad thing or a good thing. I just felt excluded. So I said to Bobby one day, I said, well, y'all never. He said, oh, no. We got too much respect for you. Now, somehow, I don't even know if I fully understood. Of course, today I do. But in that moment, I didn't fully understand it all, but it made me appreciate the way I was carrying myself, that the guys are not going to put me on that level. So
we wasn't gonna feel on Eloise.
You said we weren't going to do it.
Eloise was singing and preaching and praying in school. So, but just not having any knowledge about
Right.
anything about sex, and just, I don't know what our parents or the church expected us to do. I mean, you act like, because I call on Jesus, that I'm not human, that I don't face temptation, that I don't have desires. But what am I supposed to do? Oh, just pray, just fast and pray. But, and again, I love the value of fasting and praying, but I think we have twisted it up so much today, it makes it sound like it's a magic wand. I can just wave my magic wand and everything. No, I pray because I'm out of alignment, or because I lack knowledge. I'm praying to the one who knows everything so he can fill me in and reveal to me what it is I need to do. But I have to have a whole plan. He's got the plan, so I'm supposed to go to him because he's got the plan so I can know what it is I'm supposed to be doing. But oftentimes we just expect people just to let the Lord use you, just keep fasting and praying and just, no, baby, I need some instruction. I need some details on what do I do if a boy approaches me and trying to tell me that he wants me to, if I love him, I will. Well, I do love him. So I'm confused because I don't have no information. But we just have done, excuse me for saying it, like we have done a piss poor job when it comes to educating people about sex. And then we want to pound about purity. And then, okay, I've been pure, I saved myself, I got married, and now it's my wedding night.
Now what?
I don't know nothing either. Still don't know nothing. But it's supposed to be blissful. What did I say? It's supposed to be satisfaction. It's supposed to be mutual delight, a source of joy. How can it be? I still don't have no information. I'm just supposed to wave my magic prayer wand and, Lord Jesus, just make this be everything.
That they said it was going to be, and it's not, because I don't know
So
what to do.
then now what do I do?
Yeah.
I'm going to be frustrated, agitated, irritated. All them taters is coming my way. So, but we have
And
to.
he's going to be aggravated, frustrated.
Exactly. So we just got a whole bunch of taters up here. But we have to have real knowledge about what this is supposed to be. Why do we save ourselves? And it's unfortunate that we live in a society where if a woman puts herself out there sexually, she's a hoe. But a man is sleeping with women, but he's not a hoe. Wait a minute.
We have this
Double standard.
double standard in this disconnect when we have the in a very real situation. I won't use anything to indicate any condemning things here, but when the pastor who has got two members of the praise team pregnant, neither one of which are their wife, he's confronted about the issue, and he says, "Yeah, but look at all these people who are following me."
Yeah.
And when
Proudly pats himself on the
proudly-
back. Do you think God is mad at me?
There you
Took
go.
me to the edge of the stage where I could peek behind the curtain because I come to confront him about his stuff. Pastor, come with me. You see all them people out there? Do you think God is angry with me? Because if he was angry with me, would all these people still be here? Dude, that ain't got nothing to do with you poking peas that ain't yours. But it's that mentality. We talking about pastors, people that been in it for a minute. But that mentality, because you are who you are no matter where you go.
Right.
I can pick up and go to New York City and live there, or Timbuktu and live there. I'm still going to be me until I change. My location and surroundings ain't going to change me, because it has to start from inside. But we just have all these issues, and it ain't like this is news. This ain't breaking news. This stuff been happening, where these things have been happening, but we don't want to talk about sex in the church. We want, and the stuff we know, we want to cover it up and act like it's not true. I remember one time where a woman went to the pastor to tell him that her husband had been raping their daughter, and his response was, he's a black man with a good job, so we can't. But come later on to find out, the reason he didn't want to say nothing about her stuff, because he's sleeping with the secretary. So I can't poke at his sin, because he know about my sin, and he going to put my stuff out there. What are we doing? In the name of what? No, it ain't working for me. But we have to teach real education, and so people can really be prepared. Yes, we want to be celibate. We want to keep ourselves for our mate. But we also have to know what to expect once I get married, because it's not that saying I do and jump in the broom. That is not a magic cure for the lack of knowledge. The Bible tells us my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. So then we got all the taters coming in, because we're not prepared. We have no knowledge. We have no education. And then what does Satan do? He's going to send somebody. And if you're not prepared to stand up in your own self, in your weakness, Satan is always banking. He's always sitting there clocking, waiting for that moment.
He's got it.
So he can jump in there with some mess. But we have to hold fast to what we believe in. Then we have to do. At my age, I can educate myself. But as a young person, when I first got married, I was 22 years old. I didn't know nothing about nothing. I didn't really know about marriage, tell the truth about it. I didn't know what I ought to expect and all those different things. But I have to learn those things, and I had to then teach my girls those things, and then even now learning again, because at this age this is different than when I was 22, and we'll talk about those things too. But some of the things that we want to talk about within sex in the marriage is that you have to learn. You just have to learn what is it that your partner likes and doesn't like,
Right.
and you have to. One of the things that we work on, I know I said we weren't going to, I'm going there. It's
She's going there.
I am not very communicative, because I was married for a long time. My husband cheated a lot of those 33 and a half years. So I was always dealing with side chicks and side pieces and this one and that one and all kind of stuff.
And don't let me interrupt too much here, but as you went and talked to other people about this, what was their advice to you?
Honey, you just keep fasting and praying, because the Lord's going to work it out.
Literally.
So for 33 and a half years, I kept waiting.
I got the
even
same
though
thing.
God was calling me out.
Yeah.
They would tell me, no, honey, if he's pleased to dwell, you can't leave
can't
him.
leave him. Yep.
God said, is he pleased to dwell, though? Because if he was pleased to dwell, he wouldn't be out there doing what he's doing. So, but, you just go through all of that. So just having to walk through that. And so for all those years, I didn't talk. We was having sex. I wasn't talking. Occasionally, you do the fake thing, But Harry met Sally. We learned. If we didn't know it before, then we knew it after. But you just didn't talk. So this is a new relationship, and I'm learning. I'm putting myself out there. Y'all say TMI. Okay, turn your radio off, and then come back after this.
We told you to buckle up for this one.
So I'm learning to communicate. What do I like? What do I, my mind says he's 72. We 72. He should know. But how could he know? He's never been married to me.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly.
So it's just being in the space, being uncomfortable, because it's uncomfortable to talk. I'm not going to lie. Maybe for y'all it ain't. I'm putting myself out here. For me, it's uncomfortable to talk about it, because I've never had to talk about it. I could lay there and be not on my phone, but maybe reading a book, and you doing your thing, and then hurry up and get through in my mind, so then I can really get into my book. So I'm not even, you doing you because you got a need. I don't have a need to be with you when you out poking everybody that would gap. So I just want it over with. I'm doing my wifely duty, but can we just hurry up and get this done? So I'm not even into it at all. And people say, oh, see, that's part of the problem. No, that wasn't the problem. The problem was I don't know where this been, and now I got to deal with it. And I hope that when it's over, I don't have to go to the doctor. Just let me keep it real. So no, I couldn't emotionally and mentally. I couldn't get there because it became like a light switch. It's a certain time of night. The kids in bed. Okay, turn the light off. Here we go. It was that routine. Now people can say, yeah, part of that is on you because it takes two. It does take two, but I'm telling you, I didn't care.
But if you didn't know even to care,
I
and
didn't.
after that you don't care.
After you've been poking everybody.
Exactly.
I don't care.
Exactly.
I just want this over with. It ain't gonna take you all night. Let's just go ahead and you pump. You done? Okay, we good.
2 seconds. No. 2 seconds.
15 minutes. You done. Start to finish.
He say, pump, pump, pump.
So, so going from that and not caring, not talking, not being emotionally connected to now having a spiritual kingdom partner. This is all brand new for me. I may be 72 years old in a few weeks, but yeah, a few weeks.
A few weeks.
Stop it, 4 weeks. But it's still new. So I'm learning to shed that old skin from what I was used to, which is a process. I did a lot of work before we got married, and there wasn't, but like I said before, you're not going to know all the things that still need healing or things that trigger you. Joe went to go to the recycling place yesterday, and in my mind, I thought he was going one place, but I didn't learn till we were on the way here that no, that wasn't the place he was talking about. So in my mind, when he was gone, I thought,
Okay. Where is he?
But then I go back to him. He is not that other person.
Exactly.
And he has different morals and values, thank you, Jesus, than the previous person did. So then I could just dismiss it and say, devil, I see you. You think you still, ain't nothing here belong to you. You need to back on, get on out. But I tell him about those things. I could keep it to myself. And
Right.
he wouldn't
I
even know.
appreciate it too, because I'm like, what?
But I want him to
Where we
know.
put the clothes in down there to where we took the papers, where we took the cans. That's what
He's tried.
where I was.
Make it.
But see, in my mind, when he said recycle around the corner, I'm
You think
around the corner. So, but no, it's really probably over a mile away, 2 miles or so
It's
away.
2 miles. You
So-
know, you don't want to take brush and tires and stuff like that to that big. That's the big one.
Yeah. But anyway, it's just those things, shedding all of that. But I didn't even know those things until we actually got in the marriage and things started happening. And, you know, like I said before, I would be triggered because the other guy would be on his phone talking to women right in my presence, but try to play me like a bald head. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't. You know I can see from over here. I'm right next to you. I can see from where I'm sitting. I'm not blind, stupid, or crazy. My mama ain't named me Boo Boo the Food. That is not branded in my forehead. But just going through that and saying, babe, when I walk out the room, if you're on the phone, he's just
Right.
passing time. He's learning about something about the chords and the music and the guitar and the sax and all these new things that he's learning to keep his music progressing. So he's just killing time. Then when I come in the room, then, okay, we're getting ready to watch TV or whatever, he just puts his phone, said, no, hold on to it for a couple of seconds, about 5 seconds. And then,
And I'm
because,
like, why?
because that was the thing.
That
I
was
come in there.
That's a trigger.
Dude, I done already
That's a
peeped
trigger.
you in the room before I really come through the threshold. I'm already listening. I'm tuned in. I'm aware. So when you throw your phone down there, okay.
You know. Yeah.
So, yeah, but those are things that, and I'm not blaming him or putting any of that on him. I'm telling him this is where I'm at. And if you can help me, just hold the phone for 5 seconds. That's going to help a sister out. And then I, too, just keep saying, I said, he is not the previous
You have
person.
to, yeah.
And I am not going to make him pay for what the previous person did. But it's still that work, you know. That
It's
work.
a process.
It is.
It's a process.
Because I want to grow my marriage, and I want it to grow together, and that's part of, you know, keeping it hot. Grow together through intimacy and romance. Joe's very romantic. He gives me flowers all the time, which I love. He grows the flowers, and then he cuts them
Yeah,
and brings
cuts
them
them.
in to me nice and fresh. I absolutely love it. I love the fact that he would take that kind of time and invest in something that means something to me.
Right.
So I really appreciate that I can come in the room and there's fresh flowers and it's like, oh. But those little things, romantic and intimacy, things that build intimacy, incorporate habits that keep you close. Talking about things that's a concern or
The
anything like
communication is
that.
the key.
And prioritizing sexual intimacy. Intimacy is not sex. It can lead to sex and it can enhance your sex. Otherwise, if you don't have intimacy, you're just having sex, which is what I talked about having before. I don't want that. What I've had, nothing like I had before. I don't want no parts of that. This is new. I want it to stay new, fresh, and hot. You want to say something?
But then after 22 years of pastoring churches, and I did 5 years as the adjunct guidance counselor for Hardesty Schools, and of all the people, all the marriage counseling that I have done, all of these things, it is amazing to me how little we as a church have taught and have helped people understand to get through these very things that we're saying, to realize that it is a blessing of God, to realize the gift of sexuality that God has given to us, and to see, I can't count how many times that I was trying to rethink how many times I've had a situation. I'm doing marriage counseling. They're fixing to get married or fixing to get divorced. They're trying to work their way through it, and the bottom line is the idea is that and I'm just speaking from my personal experience. I know everybody's going to say, yeah, but it's not always that way. I understand that. I'm just saying what I experienced. The man wants to have intimate relationships with his wife, and she has been taught that it is evil, wicked, mean, nasty, and dirty, and I feel degraded when I do. And
only in marriage can we do it. But other than that,
no, I'm talking about people that are married.
In marriage, they was told it was wicked and evil.
I swear, because we had somebody up here telling them that it is evil, wicked, mean, and nasty, and dirty, and you're degraded if you do it.
If she goes to him or the
Either way.
Oh,
I tell you, because which brings me to my next thing.
something I never did. Go to him, but go ahead.
I was amazed because I'd say one thing. Okay, let's just start from scratch. Let's go read the Song of Solomon. What? The Song of Solomon. What's that? Well, it's a book in the Bible.
What's that?
What's that? Let me read you a little bit of it. Song of Songs, which is Solomon's. May he kiss me with the kisses of his mouth. Your love is sweeter than wine. Your oils have pleasing fragrance. Your name is like purified oil. Therefore the young women love you. Draw me after you, and let's run together. The king has brought me into his chambers. The wedding party sings, and this is a poem. We will rejoice in you and be joyful and praise your love. More than wine, rightly they love you. The bride says, I am black and beautiful. Your daughters of Jerusalem, like the tents of Kedar, the curtains of Solomon. Do not stare at me because I am dark, for the sun has tanned me. My mother's sons were angry with me that made me the caretaker of the vineyard. But I have not taken care of my own vineyard. Tell me, you whom my soul loves, where do you pasture your flock? Now, and you got to keep in mind, the Bible was written in historical context, and so Eloise was not impressed when I told her that her teeth were beautiful as a flock of shorm sheep that had been washed in the Kidron Valley. The Bible has historical context. This was what these people looked at. But anyway, Solomon says, if you yourself do not know, most beautiful among young women, go out on the trail with the flock and pasture your young goats by the tents of the shepherds. To me, my darling, you are like my mare among the chariots. She wasn't impressed when I compared her to the mare on the chariots of Pharaoh.
No.
But your cheeks are delightful with jewelry, your neck with strings of beads. This is romantic stuff. While the king was at his table, my perfume gave forth its fragrance. My beloved is to me a pouch of myrrh which lies between my breast all night. This is beautiful stuff. This is what God intended it to be between a husband and a wife. And this goes on chapter after chapter after chapter. This is God's design. This is God's blessing. Go ahead.
It is, but I didn't know that you meant people in the marriage. I just thought that once you drill that into somebody's head and tell them all that, then they get married, and then okay, but now what do I do? Because you told me all these years
these
that's
years.
bad,
People
it's
who have
nasty, it's
children, and It's
evil.
like you made children. Well, yeah, but I just feel degraded.
They feel degraded after after having children.
I swear to you, Lord God is my
Oh
witness.
my gosh.
Because the
The
program.
program.
Programming
They're
in
programmed.
from church
Yeah.
traditions that it's evil and nasty and dirty and
See, I've only heard that like if you're not married,
Yeah, that's what I've always heard.
Oh,
but
yeah.
still to think of it as being evil and nasty
Yeah.
and dirty, and then now I'm married.
Yeah. It just keeps going.
Yeah, it's like, okay, how does it become beautiful and wonderful and great then from evil and nasty and dirty? So,
sexuality and desire are not shameful. They are merely a function of what God has created inside of us and the feelings that we have. And he designed it to be exercised only within the bonds of marriage,
Yeah.
which is why I'm talking about this stewardship of sexuality before God.
yeah, it's very much needed so that we know how to steward it properly. I mean, we learn how to steward our homes, our finances, our vehicles, all the things that God, our health, but we also need to learn how to steward sexual purity.
So another thing, and people will probably cringe when I say this one too, if the concept of blasphemy is that it specifically targets the sacred to denounce, mock, or defy it. If God says sexuality that he created us with is very good, for us to turn around and say that it is evil, I think we should prayerfully consider whether or not that borderlines on blasphemy. 'Cause
Good
that's
point.
what it is.
That's a good point.
And Satan sets back because he succeeded in getting that couple divorced, the vast majority. I tried to talk people and help people understand this. Vast majority got divorced, and Satan leans back and smiles and says, "I got you, you fools!
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
You fools!
Yeah.
You fell for that just like Eve did with the garden."
Well, I think people still are, you
Yeah.
know, unfortunately. But we have different ways and different things that we can do.
You gonna put your mama on?
Mama, you want to have something to say? Mama,
Huh?
you want to talk?
Paper towel is gonna be fine.
She far from the mic.
Oh, are you
Phone.
closer to your phone?
She got it on speakerphone.
Yeah.
Can you take it off speaker and just talk, Mama? I don't
She
know.
said,
Okay. But and some of the other ways you keep it hot within the marriage is to date your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
You should still go on dates. We have, and I teased you about it because just one Friday I was feeling a little frisky. So I said to him, "It's Free Love Friday." So he decided every Friday is Free Love Friday. I said, "You can't take my stuff and then put it for every
twist it like he wants it, huh?
every Friday." So we made Friday nights our date night, and we just call it Free Love Friday.
Yeah.
But sometimes it gets to be what's the one for Saturday?
Sensual Saturday.
Yeah, because if we get, with our schedules and things, sometimes the things we do is on Friday might end up being late night, and so not to, we're not 20 years old to go home at 11, 12 at night and then be trying to have a date. No, we're not doing that. We just roll it over. But the wonderful thing about it is people say, you schedule it? Yes. I schedule doctor's appointments, dentist appointments,
Why not?
take my car to the shop appointment, go meet with the financial plan appointment. Why wouldn't I schedule something that's supposed to be the most important thing in our lives? So you schedule it, and you hold to it as much as you can. The other day when we left the service,
Oh,
Stephen
yeah,
invited
yeah,
us
yeah.
to his play, and it was free the first night because it's kind of dress rehearsal,
Right.
And everything. And of course, free 99 always gets my attention. But then I said, "Oh well, it's free Love Friday," and then I look at Joe, and then Steve's like, "Oh no, I ain't messing with that. I ain't messing with that." But you guard it and you protect it.
You guard
But
it and
we're
protect
we're
it.
not locked in concrete. So if something comes up, like we've had friends, we've gone over their house on a Friday night and go to events and stuff. It's not locked in. You can mute her. I don't know what she's doing. And I think her aide is there. Bless her heart. She wanted to be on the show today. Thank you, Mama.
She got a few words in.
Yeah, but you have to do what works for you. You know, and again, this is our new experience where I'm involved as a person in this intimate relationship instead of being an object for somebody else's satisfaction.
Exactly.
So this is all new, and I'm grateful that Joe is patient while we're getting our rhythm on all fronts, you know, not just this one, but definitely in this one. But you try new things, you know. I'm not telling you what works for you or what you want to. Let your imagination run wild. Try new things. My favorite thing to do to him is hide.
Yeah.
Or sneak up behind him.
Constantly sneak up behind me.
Yeah, sneak up behind him, and he don't know I'm behind him, and then, you know, I'm just standing there.
It happened this morning. I was making the bed, and I turned, oh, shoot. It scared me.
I don't mean to give you a heart attack.
It's
or
all
nothing, but
right.
just,
No, you're fine.
just
Well, that
fun
brings
stuff.
fun stuff
Yeah.
into the
Exactly.
relationship,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and that's romantic also.
Yeah,
Like, however you want to look at it.
I sneak up and tap him on the shoulder, and I'm on the other side. You know, it's just fun. It's fun. Planning trips and events. We're getting ready. The four of us and Dr. Riddick. We won't name him, but if she wants to, she can. But we're taking a trip and going to Branson to see the production of David.
And we're not married. And no, we're not.
Yeah.
The other
yeah,
not. The
yeah.
SEX stuff.
Yeah, they're
Not
like
yet.
us. They kept their
Not yet.
boundaries in place. And
Not yet. It's coming.
yeah, we're excited for them. 'Cause
Yeah.
anyway, we're taking a trip. We're going to Branson and go enjoy ourselves for that weekend, a few days after the podcast, the next day.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we got to keep things in order. But, yeah, but just plan things and do things. And we just got back from Austin the beginning of this month, went down for my sister's 90th birthday celebration. So went down there about 4 days and just had a good time. It's just good to get on the plane and go away, get in the car and drive away and just go live life. We're planning trips to Hawaii and New Orleans, and because he's a jazz guy, and Africa. So
Yeah.
we're going to do all the things before we leave here. So we got to keep things going and engage in shared hobbies and activities. We like watching TV together, and we'll pick a series, something on Prime or on Netflix that we can watch, and
Right,
you know, it's just fun to watch. I try not to give it away, but I can see scenes before they happen and stuff.
She's good at that. She is good at that.
And I'll say,
He's going to get her. She's going to fall down them steps.
they trying to say is that person is the wife.
No, it's wife. Wife gonna do it.
So, but he doesn't feel a way about it. So he's just like, how did you know that? I don't know how I know. I just know. But we enjoy shared activity. I don't ride and I don't run. But the music thing.
She
we do-
hides.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, I hide. Yeah, and we do music together. We do karaoke. Go out with our friends and do karaoke. My grandson's having his 11th birthday party Saturday. It's going to be karaoke. I can't wait. So, but just you find things to do. And then one thing that I did not realize that I learned real quick and still in learning is that as we get older, our bodies change. Now, I knew my physical body
Right.
changed, but I didn't
Right.
know how that would impact me mentally or emotionally or cognitively or physically. Because nobody ever taught you about that
No
either.
one.
You're going to go through menopause, and it's just going to last, you know. Don't listen to them. They can't tell you how long it's going to last for
They
you.
sure can't.
They just can't because they don't know. It's an individual woman thing,
Exactly.
just like your cycle is an individual thing. Menopause is, and then they got menopause. Some men go through situations too, and but
believe it.
different. Just because our bodies change and it's different, that doesn't mean it's broken.
Right.
So we have to focus on the good aspects of it, and that knowing how my feelings and my desires, my actions, even my identity, going through becoming older, but I'm grateful to still be active and can move and not be in a wheelchair, not be in a bed and can't get up and have to depend on other people. I'm grateful to have this body and to be able to move and enjoy life.
But you got to keep a positive mind. That's
Yeah.
what I spew out all the time. And no matter what your age is, you're up, you're
Yeah.
breathing, you're on that list that he woke up this morning.
Yeah.
So you have to be positive.
Yeah, you're
You know,
right.
and you can do things that he over here can't do. Come on now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
you
have to
gotta-
study, stay on that.
Sure.
Your mind, because either you have a fixed mindset or you have a growth.
Of a growth.
A fixed is closed, a growth is open.
Exactly.
And you cannot grow if you have a closed mind.
Right.
Or you bank everything on how it used to be. I could bank everything on how it used to be. He would be so frustrated
Oh,
sexually
gosh. Oh,
if
yeah.
I was bringing that person to the table. And I work hard not to bring that person to the table. I want to be present, open, and enjoy. But it's a work. It is a
Yes, it is.
it's a work for me, and I have to consciously and intentionally work on that because too many years of that pattern. I have to break that pattern and choose to be somebody new and different
Right.
in this. Something else that affects us as our bodies age is that physically we may have the feeling, our physical feelings may affect what we are able to do. And our emotional feelings may affect what you want to do.
Right.
So you might want to do something, but physically you can't do it. So you know, and it happens for men and for women. You know, I know today is, you know, they talk about the white pills, the red pills, the blue pills for men, and then for women, sometimes we go through vaginal dryness and different things. We have to apply lube and things because our bodies change, our vagina changes, the walls of it changes, and you can experience, even if you're married to the same guy,
Right.
but as your body gets older, you go through those changes. Sex intercourse may be very painful for you, but if you don't talk to your husband about it and you don't say, look, I know it used to be real juicy, and now it's not so much. So we have to do other things to help out with that situation. And you got to talk about it because you don't want to be there being in constant pain, and he's
Right.
enjoying himself, and he thinks you're enjoying yourself, but you don't want to tell him. Men do have ego and they do have pride, but their ego is not that delicate where you can't say,
Right.
look, that don't work for me. I wish you did, but that really is painful. And we have to find those ways. Again, I'm learning how to recover and use my voice in this aspect of our relationship because it's too important to me not to. I want to keep building. Again, sex is not the only thing because there are some people have sexless marriages. Maybe that's something they've chose to do because of different physical functions or whatever they've agreed on, but they still build intimacy.
Exactly.
And then there are some people that have intimacy and they still have sex. It's just kind of a case-by-case scenario. We're not going to tell you what you need to do, except if you're going to be out here having sex, you need to have a husband or a wife that you're having sex with. Sexual intercourse is what I mean when I say that. And not just be out here pounding people, because there are costs to pay in doing that. You get older, your stuff may not work.
Yeah.
Now, my auntie used to tell her little grandson that all the time. Now, let me tell you, when you get older, that thing gonna curl over and flop over. It ain't gonna, work. You out there doing all that. I don't know if it's real truth to that or not, but I do know that we have these bodies and we have been given the gift of sex. Again, it is to be a source of joy, satisfaction, and mutual delight within the covenant of marriage. And people say, well, I enjoy it and I'm not married. Well, but there are consequences, though.
Right.
Again, this is not just about our life here and now. This is about our life in the hereafter. And you're going to go before God. You can't take your pastor, your mama, your daddy, your husband, your wife, your children, by yourself and explain to him why we did, because that's what that's going to be about. If we have received Christ as our Savior, we're going to go and give an account of what we done. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like. And some people you see like they, in this whole fight at the end of their life, you think, God, go ahead and die already. Not in a mean way. I'm just saying when people, sometimes in that mix, it's like trying to get things right. God is being patient and gracious and merciful. So to get us a chance to come in, whether it's the ninth hour like the thief on the cross or, you know, but you don't have to go through those struggles. You can get your life together up front right now today while you still have time to do and to live and enjoy your life.
And you know, make that commitment to yourself, not just to who you think wants to hear that. Make it to yourself. That's where you have to start. Make it to
You doing me? I was doing
make
that
it to yourself
last week.
because you have already talked to him.
Yeah.
So you got to make it to yourself.
Yeah, because you're not. I can't bring Joe something that I'm not. So, however committed I am to myself and being intentional with myself to keep growing, to keep learning. I appreciate having this relationship because it is teaching me things about myself that I thought was already squared in the box, tied up with the bow, and done to be. But I'm learning that some things are still not. It's going to take, when you've been 33 and a half years married, then I dated couple of guys, and all of them were unfaithful. The other guy I was engaged to before, very unfaithful. So when that has just been that history, I don't have anything.
Exactly. To go on. You don't. I know.
And then came Joe. So I'm having to reprogram myself and just tear off all those pieces and things, those fragments, any residue from yesterday's, and say, thank you, Lord. And that's what I had told him when I found out that he had been married for 52 years and his wife was sick for the last 31 years, and he did not cheat, even though temptation walked into his home and he had to kick him out. That blessed me. I said, I don't care if this man is green with purple polka dots. That's my man, my man, my man. So, but God knew what I needed.
Right.
Give me somebody who can be faithful, who first to you, because if he's committed to you, and that was the whole thing. He said, I made a vow to God and I made a vow to my wife, and I wasn't going to go. The fact that she couldn't, that didn't have anything to do with my vow. And I thought, what kind of man is that? Where you come from? Oh my God. So that in itself is a turn on. I'm not going to lie about it. It makes me very excited and very happy that God would choose to, at this age and stage of my life, to bless me with somebody who can, first of all, commit. Because I know that if he loves God that much, loving me is going to be a piece of cake. Because I promise I'm going to be lovable.
Yes, you are. Now, the practical application of this thing, then, is for married couples. Passion is not anything to be ashamed of.
Right.
It is beautiful. God has created it. For those who are singles, the blessings that God has given us in our sexual capacity, it validates our desire. There's nothing wrong with desire without mandating fulfillment outside of marriage. It doesn't mean that's evil. The desire is not evil, but it has to be exercised within marriage. And for the church, it counters the cultural extremes, the taboo that we have had for so long in discussing any of this and saying you can't say these words, you can't do this. You can't talk about that. You can't this. You don't this. You don't that. And Satan sits back and laughs and says, nah, yeah, got you
Watch
on that
it.
one. Yeah, got you on that one.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm looking at this clock and our time is ticking quickly away, but we have had a wonderful time. So blessed again to be here with Dr.
Thank you for
Riddick.
having me.
And looking forward to next week, we're going to talk about expiration date for potentials. And we're going to be blessed with Miss LaWanna Daly. She's going to come. She has an event again coming up June 1st through 3rd online from 6 to 7:30, Woman Full of Power. So she's going to be in that by the time they come, because June 1st is quickly approaching.
It's here.
Next Tuesday. Is it next Tuesday?
It's
next
Monday. It's
Next
Monday.
Monday. So their thing is June Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, June 1st through 3rd. But she's going to be with us next Tuesday on June 2nd, and we're going to be talking about that expiration date for our potentials. Well, hopefully you have gotten something out of it. Hopefully we didn't give you too much cringe or make you too mad. But again, you know how to reach us, Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah.
We're glad to talk to you anytime you come, and hope to see you back next week. Well, that does it for this week's show. Thank you for tuning in to Love in Real Life. We enjoyed our time together, and we hope you did too. We invite you to join us again next Tuesday at 2 for a relationship reset. Remember to like, share, follow, subscribe, and comment. Our YouTube channel is Dr. Eloise and Joseph Hill at Hill of Love, or email us at joe.lhill@gmail.com.